This is Caleb with Think Future. Now, when I talk to people about the future, I usually get two completely different responses. One is a threat. Thinking about the future is a concern that things are going to go bad. Things are going to go awful. Things are going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's not just positive and negative. It's not just optimistic and pessimistic. It's those who look at the future with fear. They're concerned that whatever is happening now, if something were to change, that it would change for the worse, no matter what the change is. No matter what the change is. And it partially is fear of change. Partially is fear of change, which I think is funny because fear of change is basically fear of life, because life is change. So sometimes it's a threat. You look at the future as a threat. It's like, I'm going to batten down the hatches and look at the future as a threat because the future is probably going to be worse. No matter how bad things are right now, the future may be worse than it is today, than the present is today. It may be totally worse. So I look at it with fear. And this happens a lot in our futurist work, is that one of the first things that we have to determine about a client is how do they view the future? Do they see the future as a threat? Or do they see it as an opportunity? Now, I'm the optimistic futurist, so I always see it as an opportunity because even if you see it as a threat, the only thing you can do anything about is the future. So your actions, your decisions, what you do next will have an impact on where you're going to go next. There's nothing you can say about the past anymore. The past is done. The present's happening now. The future is the only thing you can control. And because it's the only thing you can control, you can do something about it. You can affect it. You can take actions that will move you closer to the future that you're looking for. And that's why I always try to take all of my clients who are looking at the future as a threat and try to get them to see the opportunity. And even if it comes to the point where they're coming back at me and saying, listen, you're telling me to go to the land of make-believe. Sure, go to the land of make-believe. The land of make-believe is a fine place because the land of make-believe is the place where all these inventions came from. Inventors, every invention out there, every invention under the sun, everything humankind has developed has come out of the brain of an individual. Some human out there, and this is what I love about humanity, because if you can look, you could just look around at everything around you, and you can probably say, if you're living in a city, everything around you was built by human hands. Everything around you was designed by human brains. Humans created the world around us. Unless you're standing in the middle of a forest, humans created everything around you. Just think of the ingenuity that humans had to pull out of themselves in order to design the world that we live in today. Sure, some shortcuts were taken. Sure, we've done some things that are against nature, and we continue to do things that are against nature. But I think we're working on that. We're working on working with nature as opposed to against nature, to push nature away. But that's what I'm saying, is that all of these inventions that were generated out of the minds of human beings were generated in the land of make-believe by individuals who looked at the future as an opportunity and not a threat. Because if they look at it as a threat, although maybe some security things came out of it, if they look at it as a threat, they probably shut down. They say, oh my God, I can't handle the present. How can I handle the future? But if you look at the future as an opportunity, if you can see how things can get better based on the way that you design the direction that you're going in to create your ideal future, then maybe, just maybe, you can crack that fear open a little bit, crack that threat open a little bit, and understand all of the amazing opportunities that are out there for you to just grab and take hold of.